And we are live.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Y'all already know it's Monday. We are lit. And are we live?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are live. Six. What's going on? How was your day?
Man, my day was pretty lit. I'm not gonna hold you. I was sitting around today and I did my new favorite thing to do. Chill out. Chilling is like my new favorite thing to do now.
Mm.
I'm sorry, man. Like I'm realizing I work hard, y'all. Y'all see, I'm back. We done brought the red back.
I
We officially
see.
back popping. Y'all know. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. When y'all see me with the red hair, just know I'm in full blown grind mode.
Okay.
That's what the red hair means. Like any
Okay.
any other color, I'm in the downtime and I'm like thinking and I'm trying to like really like figure out the next play. But when the red is back, we're in full blown mode. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the music industry is crazy right now. Seems like
Mm.
everybody is popping out fresh and hip and new, but yet none of the old people seem to like them still. It's
What do
kind
you?
of
Hold
weird to me.
on, wait. That just went over my head. You said all the new people are,
Coming out fresh,
huh?
hip, and new, but
Mm-hmm.
yet why are the old people still not liking our new artists? What's going on?
Mm. That's a good question.
Did you see
I
what Lil Wayne said the other day?
no, I missed that.
This is amazing. What Lil Wayne said the other day is that our older people
Mm-hmm.
have always seemed to make it hard for new artists. It is time for older people to embrace new talent and realize that the talent that you grew up loving is out the window now. It's a new era. This is from the Wayne, the table of Wayne, Little Wayne, the GOAT.
So ignore what you like and just jump on trends.
But the thing is, like, why we gotta ignore what we like when we have access to that all day long? Now let me
Okay, so
ask you a
you're saying
question.
stop trying to recreate these new artists to fit what we like, which is old
Yes.
stuff.
And let's accept these new artists for all the changes like that the new artists and the new pioneered artists that you grow to love, that you grew to love, they had to get their chance. The game wasn't how listen, if anybody wanna tell me that the game is when Lil Wayne got in the game, he was rapping like Snoop Dogg and Tupac and all them, then I won't argue y'all, but he was new. It was a new style. But
Right.
let's just be real. How Lil Wayne didn't get his real level until 2009, maybe, right? But he been out how long?
That shit, I was in
Prior to
high
that, since a child.
2001.
I think Lil Wayne finally realized that he went through the same problem that most indie artists go through now.
You think
The same
so?
thing, the same thing that all his artists went through. The little Chuckies, the little Twists, the Mac Mains, not the Drake and Nickies, obviously, because they had the powerful will behind them, the powerful machine behind them.
Well, let me just stop. Let me just interject for a second. Okay, so you said back in the day, Lil Wayne was new. He was something different. He didn't mock Snoop and all the people before him, right? He had
Yep,
a different
right.
sound. But at that time, there wasn't 1,000 people sounding like him either. That was just, drowning
Yeah,
out, making it seem like that's the new. Like there wasn't another Lil Wayne until Young Thugger came around. From my aspect, someone that
that could be.
that sound that actually got replicated. I would say that, and even with his artist, um, Nikki, it's her voice alone, even her talking, like it's just her. She's different. She's something different. It's popping. Like
Yeah,
it's. I don't want to say like it's. People say she copied Lil Kim, but she sounds nothing like Lil Kim. She might
nothing like
spit
this.
her bars in the same flow, kind of, sort of, but sounds nothing like Drake. Sounds nothing. So I feel like it's not that the older people don't like the new music because Kendrick, a lot of people like Kendrick, a lot of
Yeah, but there's
people
more people that don't.
like Lil Baby. A lot of people like Da Baby. Those two sound completely different, you know?
Yeah,
But to I feel like the new is not a wave of people that sound the same. The new is something that stands out. Like you have to stand out from what's already going on because Nicki stood out, Drake
yeah.
stands out.
But y'all know what's really amazing though, when you really think about it, Tanya? It's evolution of time.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the labels were being bombarded by thousands of Wayne lookalikes and sound alikes at that time. But of course, what did they say? I have one. I have Wayne.
Do you
We
think
have one.
so? I
I
don't think
believe
so.
so. What
Because
I
we didn't
believe,
hear one. Like right now, there's 1,000 people that sound like I would say I wouldn't say Future because only one person that you'll be like, oh, is that Future or is that Designer? But when it comes to let's say um Uzi Vert sound or something like that, or maybe a Trippy Red or a Lil Xanax or like just certain sounds, it's like, they all, kind of.
I want to propose a new interjection in the sounds and people sounding alike, right? I am willing to say that sounds are less likely of people sounding alike the next artist, but more so sounding like where they come from. You find a few anomalies who rap and you can't tell where they come from, but for the most part, it's not rapping like the artists before them, but it's rapping like the culture of their city. I mean, take a lot of. I sent out my music to this videographer this week for videos and stuff like that. And the first thing he asked me, "Yo, where you from, bro?" Right? He couldn't believe I was from DMV area. He couldn't believe I was born in DC, raised in Forestville, Maryland. He's like, this is not the type of music that they make here. Everything is in the drum, in the rum, in the drum. You know what I'm saying? So when you start thinking about it, music, the creativity of an artist is based on where they are allowed to go and how they are allowed to grow retrospectively. So if you have any new artists, and that, like I keep telling everybody, I don't like to put too much barriers on the new artists today because the reality of it is, if we had DistroKid 10 years ago, heck, I'd already be there. I mean, listen, the main question that I used to ask myself 10 years ago, every time I seen the artist on Apple, every time I seen the artist on Spotify, my main question was, how did you do that? You know what I'm saying? So the odds of you finding somebody that sounds like me, let's just use me as an example, is very slim because I'm not on yet, but I'm trying something new. But then the minute that I make it, everyone is like, oh, he sounds like success.
Let me ask you and every artist out there, and I'm not even really, I'm gonna take you out of it, but let me ask just artists in general, right?
Yeah.
If listeners were to close their eyes and listen to your music without you referencing yourself, spelling your name, referring to yourself, or anything like that, can they actually be like, that's so and so? That's
Yes.
so and so. Like just
Yes.
by listening to music all day, can they tell the difference between when you say something and another artist? Or are they like, is this so and so or is this so and so? Because if
Perfect.
people have to contemplate, is this so and so or is this so and so, then you're really not standing out. And that's
Or
kind
they're not
of
really fans. Or they're not really fans.
no, no, they don't have to be a
Because
fan.
like that's
I could tell
people
the
that
baby on any track. I'm not a fan of his. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
There's um let's say give me somebody that I don't listen to.
that's
E40.
not true though. Because if you would have listened to the baby and just heard the hook of Rockstar, you would have not known that that was the baby. Just hearing that Rockstar hook.
Not the hook. I said the song though. just listening. Like as soon as for me, it's not the hook. It's because people can, of course, alter their. But when I mean, I'm talking about the flow. Like okay, as soon as you drop your 12 to 16 bars or however, I don't know. Now people do six and repeat the shit. But anyway,
Yeah,
um, when as soon as you start rapping or whatever you're doing, can someone be like that's so someone? Because for me, that to me says that you're standing out. Your beat might sound like somebody else's beat, but when you come on, I'm like, okay, that's so and so. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
yeah,
even have to. Let's say I'm not a fan of yours, but I've heard your name before, right? I could be like, oh, okay, that's so. So if I know nothing about you, then of course I'm not gonna
yeah.
know who you are. But if you are becoming relevant and you are not standing out from the crowd, like how are you expecting to really elevate?
Yeah, nah, like honestly, that's the thing. Unless you're talking about sex and teams and groups and things like that, right? Most artists are not doing that anymore.
Mm,
The element of surprise, most artists are scared of.
mm,
Now, I'm gonna tell you, if I was when I was in that mode of being afraid to create something new, it's mainly because I want to say it's the drive to make money, but it's not that. It's really the drive to be seen as I can do. The word is anything you can do, I can do better, or I can do it too, right? And
mm,
that's where a lot of artists, I think, make their mistakes. It's like, oh, they like a Little Wayne sound. I can sound like Little Wayne. I can sound like J. Cole. I can sound like Kendrick Lamar. And then before you know it, it's like, dude, we already have a Kendrick Lamar. We already
mm,
have a J. Cole. Now I've been blessed. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I've never thought of emulating sounds or emulating styles. Anybody that says that, any artist that says he's never thought of emulating is a cold cap artist. Matter of
mm,
fact, the best way to say it, he's a liar, right? Any
mm,
guy, any artist that says I've never tried to emulate is a liar. The reality of it is, it has to be done with flattery and not with envy. I tell a lot of artists all the time, it's a difference between paying homage to a time or to a piece and
mm.
really trying to be like that artist. You ever seen
Yeah.
an artist who dress, change their way they dress, change the way they talk, change the way they move? They're damn near walking like the artist that they sing. And then you ask them, well, why aren't you on? I mean, well, in today's world, unfortunately, they've made it cool. We got a fake Drake and now a little Perkio, a fake Dirk, you know. So I think that in the next few years, we're going to see a lot of more celebrities having fake people walk around as them in celebrity status.
Hmm. Okay. I still stand on my point because no one sounds like Trina. Like I think the only person that was successful in really emulating a sound alike is Young Thug. Because to this day, Young Thug and Lil Wayne could do features on people's song, and there was one song that I thought was Lil Wayne's song, and it was actually Young Thug's song.
Yeah,
So, or vice versa. I think he was successful at it, but I don't
designer
think
and future.
designer. You see, he fell off. You
He
know,
went to college. He did not fall off everybody. I gotta let y'all know designer was a kid that went to college to get his degree. He didn't fall off yet.
womp
He's just
womp
in
womp
college.
womp
So
womp.
he gets a
you
pass.
you could go to college and rap. Take it from Megan Thee Stallion. But anyway,
Can you
um,
rap well though? Can you rap well though? Megan Thee
wait.
Stallion is in trouble right now because that album that she tried to give something for the hotties just wasn't it. you know, so maybe she should have chilled out on the music and focused on finishing school first.
You're right.
Speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, I'm glad you brought that up.
Hmm.
Are you or have you been following her and this Tory Lane situation and the twist, the turn that it took last week?
Well, okay. Only thing that I did see regarding Tory, I seen him kicking it with uh 1501 Carl Crawford.
Okay,
I
old
seen him
call.
kicking it. And you know what? It actually made me chuckle on the inside because I know what that feels like when one person you have beef with one person, and then all of a sudden they're hanging with someone else that you have beef with, and it's like they're over there laughing, and you're just like, either
Well,
you don't
like that's
care
why I'm
or
public. That's why I'm public enemy number one right now. Because obviously I choose the wrong circles. But that's
or you rub, So for me, like on Megan's side, I was just like I wasn't mad at it. I just laughed because that's what people do. So if she's strong like I am, you would just laugh at it because I mean, it's not real. It's only to make you upset. But they look like they was having a good ass time. I tell you that much.
man.
They look
Listen,
like they was
listen. Let
having
me.
fun.
They listen. I'm saying like this. I look at a lot of industry stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if this is how things work, check, mate, sign, seal, and deliver. We all might as well go ahead and sign up for it, right? Because I'm watching Gail King now as
I
the
didn't even
voice.
see it. Go
Man, I'm
ahead.
looking at Gail King now as the voice of, I don't want to say criminals. I don't want to say, because it's like, she's not the voice of the people. She's always on the wrong side, though.
You
She's
think
always on the
so?
wrong person's side. Well, I mean, look at her last few interviews. She's interviewed the person that's always ended up being wrong in the end.
Mm. I mean, but maybe,
No one else will touch them.
yeah,
'Cause it's
probably.
like, all right, and she'll go in and get the dirty work done. So now
Mm.
I'm thinking like, dang, Megan, do I really want to see you interviewed by the same person that interviewed R. Kelly up there crying, and now you crying? And then it
Oh,
it took me away. It took me
oh,
away when she said that he said that all she heard was dance,
damn
bitch.
it. I was like, oh my, he did not say that, girl. Like, you are, she's the worst actress ever.
I'm
I,
trying to tell y'all. I'm
I
trying to tell y'all,
I
man.
see it.
I am too amazed. Like I said, when I tell y'all, my day was dang near perfect with everything. I had so many great stories to bring to y'all today. I had so much great stuff to tell y'all today. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, a lot of the stuff that I want to talk about, will we even have enough time to talk about it? Are y'all paying attention to the baby right now?
Oh my gosh. I actually, I don't know if I feel bad for him or
No.
if I just feel like, I mean, why do people keep catching him at like people? I feel
I
like
mean, the
people are
baby keeps sneaking
gas,
people.
gas.
That's
Well,
who he
he
really
did
be.
sneak that guy. He snuck that. I don't remember the Brandon situation, but this video that I saw, it looked like he was about to walk past, and then he kind of doubled back and hit him with a two piece, and then the dude
Yeah,
buffed up, and then he backed up, and then tried bomb and weave like he was ready, and I
yeah.
just was like, mm,
Well,
uh,
apparently that guy was
about
one
to get
of
your
the
ass beat.
baby's. Apparently that guy's one of the baby's artists.
Mhm.
Now that could be publicity. Let's just play along with it. Let's play along with it.
Think so?
But yeah, that could very much so be publicity. But the fight with Danny Lee's brother, that's the baby's move. He sneak attacks you, right?
But
His
he's
move.
small. He has to try to.
Man, listen, I'm small, so I
He trying to
understand the
get that
sneak attack is our thing. Any words get said, we gotta swing first to make sure that
back.
nobody else swing. So I get it. But now we gotta start talking like as artists and business people, right?
Mhm.
Like can we keep walking around putting our hands on people? Is there a budget for security? Is there like some type of way that maybe just maybe the baby to keep his hands from having to fly and someone else take care of it? I don't know, man. It's just screaming really. It's screaming real, not boss to me. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not saying boss. It's not saying I
Well,
run things.
sometimes the boss has a bad day. I'm all for taking a day off and whooping a motherfucker's ass. Like I'm all down for that because people think because you have a lot to lose that they could continue to try you and continue to poke at you. And you keep being like, okay, whatever. You might go to anger management. You might go, take a kung fu class or boxing class. What is it? Muay Thai or whatever to try to get your anger out. but it
My
don't feel
favorite is
good.
jujitsu.
It does not feel good unless you land the hits on the person that's causing the irritation. So take a day off. You can't continue to do this,
Take
but
a day off.
take a day off of being
What's the
so
matter?
what's the mask? Yeah. I'm all
So I
for it.
won't ask you. So I don't even have to ask you what you think about Mr. Tyson whooping some ass on the airplane.
Yep, that boy deserved it. He shouldn't have. I mean, if you're hovering over me, like literally, that's disrespecting space. Like what I don't know if they how they teach whatever. If you're within arm's length, like if I go like this, if I put my fist out around my body and I hit you, then you deserve to get hit because
Oh
you're
yeah,
in
so
my
that's my
personal
favorite
space.
saying. It's called my bubble. If
Oh.
you in my bubble, you can get popped. That's a saying that I used to use.
But at the same time, like I don't feel like he should be able to sue by watching that video because that's harassment. In legal terms, to me, that's harassment. He deserved that 2 piece. But then I was like, damn, Mike Tyson, why ain't he bleeding? Like I thought you hit harder than
Shit. Oh, he was bleeding. Tyson gave him four of them, like,
he wasn't
that.
bleeding. I mean, for Iron Mike, like I
I mean,
expected
come
his
on
jaw
now,
to
come
be
on. Is it still? Can we still call Iron Mike Iron Mike? He old and rusty now. It's Rusty Mike. Come on
disfigured.
now. He
Don't you
gave it.
disrespect him.
He get. Mike Tyson ain't gonna touch me. Mike ain't gonna touch me. I can tell you that for sure. If it's one person that ain't gonna get touched by Mike Tyson, it's me. So I ain't worried about that. But when I tell y'all that Iron Mike ain't Iron Mike no more, he was giving that man some leave me alone blows. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy wanted to be a fan so bad. Now he can actually tell people what Mike Tyson's real fists feel like. Because everybody else felt them in the gloves except for that one guy that Mike Tyson knocked out back in the Bronx that time ago, that long time ago.
Yeah, he
So
should have.
I
He should.
don't know.
He should have. I mean, people are human. Celebrities are human. Like we're all human. Don't think because people look like they got a lot to lose that they can't actually lose it one day. Like y'all got to be
Yeah.
careful. People be testing people, and
No, I'm not gonna lie. Will Smith is a prime example of no matter how much you got to lose or where you are, you just may lose it sometimes.
well, no, I don't agree because I don't feel like he,
You don't
he.
feel like Will Smith
I
lost
don't
it.
feel like he lost it in that aspect. I
He
don't.
Will Smith snapped in that instant.
To who? He should have snapped. And I'm not for domestic violence. Why you said, well, you snapping? What you-
You said he should have gave his wife a slap on the back of her bald ass head.
no, I'm not gonna say that. But you
Look,
know, you take your anger out on, someone that actually deserves it. That was a long ass walk. You mean to tell like I don't feel like
hey, listen though. But Will Smith did walk that walk with class though. I'm gonna give him that.
man,
He walked that
I would
walk with class.
have kicked his ass down
I
the
know he
stairs.
had to be sweaty as hell walking back. Mm.
I,
Would you?
I,
I'd have clipped him up. I'd have clipped Will up.
I
I'd
would
have
have kicked.
clipped Will up.
You know how that somebody kick you in your butt and I would have, as soon as he was going down the stairs, I would have on your face.
Yeah, man. Well, Chris Rock is coming off. But what do you think about These new WAC 100. You been following WAC 100?
OMG. No, I don't really get into him because he's just too messy for me.
He weird.
However,
He weird.
Hassan Campbell. Okay, so the guys in a manuscript be going back and forth, and so I got put on the Hassan Campbell, and I think one of his streams I actually was interested in, but I'm not too much into him. Then I heard about the African Bombatu Bombada
Okay.
situation,
Yeah.
and basically, I don't know, he might have been Hassan Campbell might have been abused or something in that case. So I did learn about that, and then now he's exposing WAC 100. Hmm. How do you feel about people recording you without you knowing?
Well, like me being success, I already feel like I'm being recorded 24/7, 365. If you guys heard my new song, I said you better smile for the drones because we know that they are watching us. Actually, if you listen to a lot of my records, a lot of my albums, I reference the fact that I believe that we are under 24/7 surveillance.
We are.
And I'm just like, hey, you know, now I try to make sure that I put my best foot forward. You know, like so. What do I think about the world? Watching us 24/7. People, we're watched 24/7. We share ourselves 24/7. Whether or not be with the world, we're sharing ourselves with someone 24/7. We're leaving our imprint. So we gotta understand that. We gotta understand that it's for our safety too, right? But I'm watching Whack 100 move around, and Cynical Six likes Whack 100, but Success is a little afraid of people like Whack 100,
Okay.
right? Because like I like to say what comes to my mind too, right? But
Right.
like when I think about Whack 100, he makes me feel like these movies. Like I don't know if y'all ever watched like spy movies
Mm-hmm.
or movies with like someone that is like a dirty cop and they hold all these secrets on the mayor and all
Mm-hmm.
these secrets and stuff. Like it was one movie where the cop had all these dirty secrets hidden in his wall. I think it was like Forrest Whitaker, and he all the cops was trying to figure out a way to get him from the captain's back, but they couldn't because what he had in his wall was too valuable. So he
Yep.
just went on his whole life. Now,
It's
that's
power.
what WAC 100 reminds me of. WAC 100 reminds me of one of those people that get you in a party, get you around a lot of people, and be recording everything you say and do. Now I don't want to say it's snitch behavior because it's not like a snitch. It's more like to have something on you to make
Mhm.
you do whatever he wants done at the time.
That's the
But
manipulation.
I was really weirded out by him saying he was watching Nipsey Hussle gay porn.
And it's not even gay porn, to be frank. I, what
To be
happened in
frank, you cannot say to be frank when you're talking about
see
gay porn.
anything, I don't see anything wrong with what I heard happened in the video. Maybe you heard something different. So what I heard
I didn't
was
hear.
I heard that Nip and someone else was having a threesome with or G and a female, which I think was Nip's girl or maybe someone he liked or something like that. Don't quote me on it. However, the girl he was hitting it from the back, and the girl was slobbing on his man, and his man, you know, was in her mouth, and he pulled her hair back and kissed her. I don't see
Nah,
anything wrong with that.
nah, nah. I
What?
mean,
What's
listen,
wrong?
y'all
What
women
is
is wild
wrong
in
with that?
2022, but
I mean, if she
yeah,
didn't spit it out first, okay, I understand. But I mean, what? It's what? I mean,
listen, I don't,
I don't see
me
anything.
hablo,
I don't see
me,
anything wrong with
me hablo no English, me no, me no see, me no, me no see, me no won't see,
that. I don't
but
see anything wrong with that.
what I do know is that it's kind of troubling that WAC 100 is using these terms now, right? Because when I hear gay porn, I'm thinking of two men having sex with each other, and I'm thinking
That's
that,
that's what I thought when I first heard that. I was like, oh, and then I was like, I'm nosy as shit, so I was like, I gotta figure out what they're talking about. And then I listened to someone talking about it, and I was like, that's all that happened? Really? So how is that gay?
yeah,
Tell me how is that gay? Because any guy that G's a woman, if she puts her mouth on your man and she puts her mouth on you, maybe not your lips, but she's still putting her mouth on your body. How is that gay? I don't get it.
I,
Maybe because the
you
stuff is
know,
still in her mouth, and maybe
that's gay. No,
no,
that's
it's
wild.
not. It's not gay.
Okay,
It's
it's not gay. You're right. It's
it's
not gay
mixed with
in
saliva.
retrospect. In retrospect of the word and what it actually is, that is not it. But
Right.
it definitely is something that's frowned upon in our community as men, our men community, like our man cave. That's
Okay.
not something that we expect to hear you did.
So Wax
With
100 got beat at his own game because he met up with Hassan Campbell and he was talking about how he had all this dirt on other people. And guess who was recording him? Hassan
uh-uh.
Campbell. So they were going at it on DJ Academics Live or
Yeah,
something
weird,
like
not
that.
gay.
And for me, I just felt like it just was he was saying that he was disrespecting Hassan, and he was really disrespecting him on that live. And I have to say, I don't know. Like either
I
Hassan
look
was
at
just
all of them.
like, I got all this, there is nothing you can do, or he's really scared of Whack 100. I don't know. He threatened to get his channel shut down if he doesn't remove the recordings or something like that. And they've been going back and forth. But Whack 100, I mean, you got beat at your own game, buddy.
Yeah, I heard Wack 100 trying to get lawyers and everybody involved.
Mhm. But you should have.
Wack 100 wants a clubhouse deal so bad.
One thing you don't do, and this is what I learned a long time ago, like that's why if I talk shit about somebody to somebody, more than likely I wanted you to hear it because people are always going to repeat what you say, or they're
Yeah,
recording you, or they're
yeah.
waiting to use it for something else. So when you talk shit about people, just always expect that person to find out, and don't talk shit about people unless you want them to hear it, and you're ready for what comes with it.
You can't be afraid people to talk shit about people if you don't want the consequences, then don't talk shit about people. But you
Bye.
can't be afraid when you talking that smack. Well, I'm trying to tell you, it is pretty
Bye.
interesting though, because I kind of like I said, I don't really know Rock 100. I started following Rock 100 when I heard about how he helped Blueface, and
Mm.
I was like, that's pretty big actually. That's pretty big deal. But other than that, yeah, no. Let me ask you a question though, Tanya Cash. Out of all the artists that you've ever listened to, and like you could take a second to think about this, who would you say has the worst beat selection?
Mm. Mainstream or indie?
Mainstream, not indie because we can name indie artists. They all have bad beat selection as long as it's a YouTube beat. If it's saying purchase your track here today or any of that stuff like that, you pick the bad track. But I'm talking about like albums that you heard. You like this guy can really rap, but why isn't his beats better?
Mm. I'm a beat person, so more than likely, if your beat ain't, I'm not listening. So
Do you
I
listen
can't even think
to
of anybody. I can't think of anybody right now because everybody I listen to, I like their most. I'm a beat
what
person.
about Nas? What do you think about Nas beat
I
selection?
love Nas.
His beat selection?
Yeah, his beats.
Not one mic because that was a classic.
No, he has a backwards song. I forgot the name of, it, but he's rapping. He's telling the story backwards on that song, and like I feel like the beat is kind of it's catchy.
Somebody get me that record.
Um,
Now, what about Pusha T?
he I feel like a lot of his stuff was produced by Pharrell, so anything that Pharrell does, I like it. Anything
That
Neptune,
is amazing. So,
I
like,
like
I
it.
had this conversation.
I'm
Someone told me,
sorry, I'm so
some,
difficult. Look, but
no, no, listen.
tell
Someone
me
told
more.
me the same thing. I, I, I don't, I don't know if Pharrell and them could make bad beats, but when I do hear artists rap on bad beats, I do not blame the producer
Mm,
or the beat man, right? Because it's selection. That's the key word that I want to focus on.
oh, okay.
Artists, why are we selecting beats? What is it that makes artists select the beats that they select? Now, honestly, if someone was to ask me what made me choose half the beats that I've chosen,
Mm.
right? I would initially tell you time.
And why would you say time? What do you mean
Well, like
when you say time?
let's
Like, what does that mean?
let's just put like I go in the studio and I'm working with a producer or engineer and
Mm,
I'm paying hourly, sometimes $100 an hour or more, right? So
mhm,
now when I walk into a studio, I'm looking at two things. When a beat comes on,
mhm,
how much time I have in the studio,
mhm.
and how much time is this beat going to take me to catch it?
Really?
You ever heard somebody get in the studio, you play a beat, and they like, okay, okay, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
When I hear artists do that, I automatically know that beat ain't for you.
Wow.
My mentor told me this. If you're an artist that takes a day to write a song, and you're on a beat, and you say, I've been writing this song for 2 days, it's not the right beat for you. Something
Oh,
wrong.
okay. hold on. So because I thought you were saying, okay, like yeah, they're feeling it. Because to me, I would think your song would be better if as soon as the beat come on, you like, oh yeah, and then you listen to it for a little bit, and you like, all right, hold on, wait, run it back before it finish. You're like, run it back right quick. Okay, I got this. Before you even hear the
Nah,
entire thing, you're
a
already
song. I tell every artist, if you ain't, if I play a beat for an artist, whether it be a singer or a rapper,
mhm,
if when I play the beat, the first when that beat drop, you don't start freestyling. It ain't it.
yeah, it ain't for you. You right.
It ain't it. If you
You
gotta give
right.
me uh,
Hold up.
yeah, you know the whole warm up, the whole goddamn what that movie say the last dance with, trying to get the white girl off ready to go. Like nah, like, and I tell artists, I'm like, look, if uh, if it's like that for the artist, it has to be like that for the fans as well.
Yeah.
But most artists that I know, when they pick a like that beat, if I want to rap on it,
Hmm.
right? I don't even hear if an artist picked the right beat. I don't even hear what they say on it until after the third time hearing the song, maybe the fourth time hearing the song.
Hmm. You're
And
right.
there's a lot of artists that I work with that they pick the wrong beats, right? And then when I start working with them, I'm like, bro, try this, and then it'd be a whole nother artist come out.
Okay.
You got some.
So if you okay, so that opens another can because you're an artist, you somebody could be able to should be able to give you any beat
What you want?
and you can kind of work with it. I think you should because if you can't change for the beat, then that means you sound the same on every song. That's how I
Well,
look, which limits
well,
you,
but
right?
but so let's go back to segment one of today's show, maybe segment two of today's show, right? How do we know? How are we able to tell an artist as soon as the record comes on? Their distinct sound, their
Hmm.
distinct flow, their cadence, and we grow to love it. Like so,
Right?
it's to the point where if my eyes are closed, I can tell that's you on the record.
Yeah. Hmm. But you don't have to
Now,
sound the same, have the
it's
same.
not tone. We're not talking about tone when we say that, are we?
I mean, I'm not talking about okay, so for me, tone is your voice tone, right? I'm
Right,
talking about flow. Like if you usually rap to drill beats, right? And someone puts on mm, let's say an old school classic hip hop beat, and you cannot
right.
change the da 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 to go to the beat, then you need to
Uh,
work on your skills because
shout out to
it.
50. Shout out to Fivio. Tell Fivio that. Hey, if he watching, I'll gladly tell him. But we should have to like listen. That is a prime example of what you're saying, though. Every record that he features on, when his part comes up, doom 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 doom, doom 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 doom. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah,
That dumb drum, that
I
dumb
don't.
drill, it gets in and changes, and then it goes back to the song when he's done every time.
I didn't listen to him. I really can't. Like after I think it's probably one song that I heard that I like. After that, I'm kind of like and not to shout out Rainbow Guy, but even Takashi, like the Gunmo from Gunmo to whatever song he did
Fifi,
with Nicki
yeah,
Minaj, like I'm
Fifi,
like, yeah, he can really to me,
range. He has
regardless
wide range.
regardless of what he did, yeah, give him his flower. He's really
Wait,
talented.
what did he do? I mean, listen, we gotta stop. We gotta stop beating Takashi up about
What do you
this,
mean? What did
y'all.
he do?
We gotta stop beating Takashi up about this. So you hear Blueface when Blueface said to Takashi this
Ain't
week?
nobody looking for you, boy.
But all the niggas this bitch are still locked up. Somebody they come home.
They said, ain't nobody looking for
Honestly,
you.
honestly, y'all, that's how I feel. I can feel anybody in Treyway sets, in Treyway families, Treyway friends. Y'all can feel any way y'all want to. But only thing I got to judge that boy on is his musical talent.
Mm,
Now, do I like his musical talent? Well, I got to say yes. Who is Hood Rich? I got to know who Hood Rich is. But yes, I like his musical talent. I like artists. Now listen, if you listen to any of my music, you're gonna know. When I say I like artists with range, I mean it because I
Mhm.
strive to do it myself. You're not gonna pick. I like to say if you listen to an artist's album and it sounds like you're listening to the radio, that artist is a winner in my book. But those artists whose songs sound like you listen to their whole album or just them, it kind of gets heard it.
Or
You know, I love an artist that can collab, but I love an artist that can collab with himself more than anything.
mm,
Now, I know that probably went over y'all head.
yeah.
What does an artist that can collab with itself mean?
Uh-huh.
Well, let me tell you. When you like artists like the baby who was able to pull off a and then come and give you every day I'm pulling like a rock star. So like he didn't have to go get somebody to sing on that hook. He was able to do it himself and change it up and
But
give
he
you something
still
to feel.
sound the same with the rest of the song.
Only in the verses, only in the verses. But like I said, y'all, we
Yeah,
already know we unless you're a diehard fan of somebody, their flow can't be critiqued by you.
who me?
Now I'm talking about people in general. Unless
Oh,
you are a diehard fan of a person, you can't critique like flows.
why not?
Because honestly, if you don't like somebody, they all going it's going to get annoying.
What song? Okay, so the baby and Lil Baby song. I love the baby flow.
Tupac rap the same on every song.
I wasn't a Tupac fan. I was a Biggie fan.
Biggie definitely Biggie definitely rap the same on every song.
The flow was different. His voice sounded the same, but his flow was always different.
Okay, so now you're gonna make me do something that I haven't done in a long while.
Pull up,
I'm gonna go listen to
Victoria
Biggie's.
Suggs.
I'm
Pull
going
up.
to go pull up
What's that song? You're dead wrong, Smalls. Strong. Ow, that's a song.
Silence Grace, Eminem Pace, ready every time to know what it takes. I was sitting in the broom and then in the dog. All the same flow.
The
But
song
I'm gonna
with
go listen to his
Total.
catalog. His catalog is not that extensive, so I will be able to go through it
One
all.
more chance.
But can't be real with an artist. They call you a hater. Now that phrase right there is the biggest cop out I have ever heard. That is a cop out that is a cop out comment right there.
Why?
Yes, you can be real with artists. Yes, you can be real with artists. However, you have to be a fan of that artist. We are not going to put Curtis's comments up today. Put them
It was
on.
an accident.
Curtis is blocked. But let me tell y'all why you cannot be real with an artist unless you're a fan of that artist. Because a lot of y'all be only talking about projects, right?
Mhm.
So it's like an artist will drop a song, and it's like, oh, he, you should have did this on that. If you would have did this, it would be a much better song. And it's like, time out. Half the time, let me tell y'all why I'm saying this, right? I had a producer say to me, I said, I would really like to hear some of your production, right?
Mhm.
He says to me, my production is a little different than what you do, but sure, check it out.
Mhm.
Immediately when I went to check out his production, it automatically took me back to my third mixtape behind the music, right?
Mhm.
I said, oh, you have to go listen to my mixtapes. This is the type of music I started making in the beginning. I was using these type of tracks all the time.
Mhm.
Only a real fan would know that though. Only a real fan would know hip hop success or singing success or that these all are one person,
Mhm.
right? But a newer person now, I had a person tell me you use too much auto tune. I say no, that's these projects. If you
Mhm.
don't want auto tune, go listen to Numerous, I Am Success, Success
Mhm.
Shoes, Behind the Music, Evolution. Any one of
But,
those don't have any auto tune.
but why? Okay, so then that means that as you're evolving, you're discerning variety and variance because someone new to you should not need to go 20 years back to listen to your music to get a different
No,
sound. You know what
no.
I'm saying? Like
Yes,
if
they
the
yes they
last,
should.
but I don't
Yes,
feel
they should.
so. I feel like
That's
with
not fair.
project, you should give all of you, not just
No,
the new you, revamp the old you and
no,
still include it. Why not?
because that's not fair. Then you're stunting one's growth. A
How?
person's growth by telling them to do the same thing they were doing 20 years ago for your liking, right? Where at the end of the day, everything is based off of your errors, your things, your concepts, your focuses. I'm not gonna tell um I'm not gonna tell Sister Soldier to write me another coldest winter ever.
Well, she
I'm
needs to
going
just
to go,
do the sequel to it, actually.
listen. She could definitely redo the sequel to it, or just give us a finishing and give us something else to it, right? But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I don't need you to recreate what you've done. I don't need Kanye to give me another college dropout. I have that. I need you now to give me something for when I feel like staying in college, maybe, or running the streets and getting wild, maybe, whatever the case may be, right? Because see, the thing about it is, if you're a real fan of somebody, they're able to go into all of your moves. I mean, people didn't just like Michael Jackson; they loved Michael Jackson because he was able to fulfill every single mood they wanted. He
Mm.
didn't never give them another ABC 1, 2, 3 after the
He was
Jackson 5.
3 years old when he sung that song. Like,
There
come
was
on.
still not another one. There was still not another one. You know, it's like hey, listen. At the end of the day, when they evolve, times change. And like I tell all fans, if you're stuck in an era,
Mhm.
then you're gonna miss out on a lot of great music. I
Mm.
still have people tell me this isn't real hip hop, and I say to them, I'm like, hello, where have you been?
Yeah, hip hop
Real
did
hip hop
evolve. I mean,
been done.
branch,
Like
branches to so many
people,
different things.
people don't buy, people don't like. Listen, the people that like what we call real hip hop are the people that you would never see in the music store, are the people that you would never ever see share or talk about what you're doing.
Hmm.
Hey, come on, y'all. I get a few people now that like to talk about Benny the Butcher or or Conway the Machine, right?
Who the
They
fuck
want
is
to talk about these guys, a few people, but yet let's just be realistic. What are the masses talking about? The troubles that they got into, the controversies that they got into. Y'all don't understand. Real hip hop, how do we say it? It's dangerous. Real hip hop is worse than the rap industry, right? Because at least in just rapping and like picking up all these other styles of rap, you're protected by something that the industry does not use or the fans don't use. This one word, real.
Mm.
See, if I say I'm a hip hop artist and I start spitting some stuff and people say this is real hip hop, what are they saying? I am this life. This is who I am. This is what I do. Well, what have y'all done to all of those people?
No, I disagree with that, but keep going. I'm
What have they done with all those people? What are all the real hip hoppers?
real hip hop to me, from my understanding, is when you're talking about not just jibber jabber, like repeating the same words but in a different tone, maybe. You're actually talking about something. You might be telling a story. I can actually feel you. I don't have to go get a translator. Um
Yeah,
when I think of real hip hop, like that's what I think about. And
yeah,
growing up, people used to tell stories. Like people really, I mean, it could have been
my,
whatever they was going through, but it was like, I came through the mud, you felt it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But my
Grandmama
question
spanked
still,
me, I went to church, all this other, they
yeah,
tell you a whole story like about different. Now it's just I went around the block, came back around the block, grabbed my Glock. Like, what?
that's right. That's what I'm saying. See, but that's what I'm saying though. Like and you assume that it's not realistic
It's
or
not that
not.
it's not realistic. You went around the block, came back around the block. Like, why didn't you just say did a double around the block? Like, why do you have to say I went this way, then I came back this way, then you
Because
just say whatever that rhymes with what you just said?
that's his that's
You're
his
not
life.
saying
That's what
any
he did.
man. Okay, let me
That's
use a
what they
different
did.
um like, you
No,
know
but like let's
what
but
I'm
like
saying.
but
Y'all
the
know what I'm
but
saying.
where are they? But
What do you
where are they now though? Where are all the real hip hoppers? Like there's people like, I miss this. Where are they?
it's still, I mean, those are the people that a lot of people don't, I guess I would
Don't
say J.
respect.
Cole.
Let's just be real. Let's just be real. They get called the conscious rappers.
Hmm.
They the ones that wait to go. They the ones that at a showcase, if they run into a showcase or something like that, right?
Hmm.
They're the ones that will sit up there and go last. They're
Yeah.
the ones that don't get any support.
Yep.
Real, what we call real hip hop, and they're the ones that were locked up and dead and shit now. You know, those are all the ones that everybody want everybody to be like. And unfortunately, these new the new era of music is about making money. It's not
That's the
about what it used to be
problem.
anymore.
But see, that's the gift and the curse about it. That's what
Yeah.
makes people not, like that's what makes people like, man, this shit, I'm tired of hearing this
Yeah. Oh,
jumbo
I get
rap.
in trouble all the I get people mad at me all the time. They're like, man, all you think about is numbers. All you talk about is who makes more money and this and that. But what about real music? I'm like, I don't know how to determine what's real music anymore. I don't know how to determine any of that anymore. Because the thing is, I'm a victim, right, of time. And when I was coming up, Tupac was the best because he beat Bruce Springsteen. You know, Biggie was the best because he did this before this time. This guy was the best because he had all these. He did this amount of units in a week. He did this. Now it seems like that I'm doing the units in the week, right? Or that I'm charting and hitting 30, hitting 20. It's like now people are like, no, that don't mean anything anymore. It's not about numbers anymore, success. Wait a minute. Since when? Y'all are not going to tell me it's not about numbers when I have spent the last 5 years focusing on getting these numbers right for y'all. Because, like I said, all the real stuff is there. You just whatever you chose to do with it.
Yeah, I
You
guess.
know, so it's like they a lot of people put artists in this bag that they would not want to be thrown in a regular, you know, everyday scenario. And I have to tell all of you artists, y'all have to stop falling for that. You have to stop falling for that every day. Because if I walk into someone's job, let's just say a bank teller, I walked into your job at Bank of America and I said, you know what? I want to see Susan today. No disrespect, Diane, but I'm gonna go to Susan's desk because she a little bit better than you. She a little faster at counting the money than you, whatever the case may be. Y'all can go ahead. Y'all can go ahead.
But she might
People
make the
start
most
looking.
mistakes though. See, and that's
Yeah.
where I was going to come in at. Like, okay, so when you say who's the best, or like we have to be technical with terms when we talk about that, because you need to say who's the best selling artist, not the best. Where's the selling hip hop artist, not who's the best hip hop artist? Because when you say who's the best, a lot of people ain't really thinking about numbers. They thinking about talent. If you say who's the best selling hip hop artist, okay, now who's best at selling? There's a difference to me. Like,
Yep.
just because you can sell doesn't really mean that you're talented.
Well, I mean, like honestly, at the end of the day, y'all know who I'm talking about, Jay Z. Um,
you
they,
always
they
you always coming for that man.
now I love. Listen, I need people to understand. I love me some Jay Z. I don't like the old people critiquing us in Jay Z's statue. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? I don't like that indie artist can get compared. That a person would have the audacity to compare a Jay Z to an indie artist in the position.
I mean,
You know, but
Jay-Z
I
dope.
also find it interesting that. it's very fitting in a way because Jay Z's an indie artist.
I can actually
Oh,
listen to a
oh,
few
what
of
the
his albums, but he's not even. Which what's crazy is he's not even on my top 10 list. But I play his. If I was to put on any of his albums, I would probably just play them through and not skip.
like, you know
He's
what's
to me,
crazy
he's
is
talented.
what's crazy is Jay Z is one of those artists that if Jay Z comes on the radio or on in the vicinity that I'm in, I'm not turning it off.
Me either.
I'm not even going to request it. But he's also one of those artists that if I have to push the button, you never hear Jay Z song.
Mm, I don't. I
I mean,
haven't
I
played him in
can't
a
think of
while.
if
That's
I
true
had to think of
though. Unless he was on a track with Beyonce, like I haven't.
if he was on a track with Kanye, I would play the Kanye track. Yeah, but
Yeah,
what I mean,
somebody's
listen,
yeah.
uh,
How
I
about
have, huh?
no? I was saying, how about them? How about y'all? Like,
Yeah,
do you
y'all
think
tell us like,
listen?
some of these people in here will probably listen. Like Izzy, I can believe that Iz will listen to a Jay Z record. He'll probably pop on a Jay Z album when he hop in the car on Spotify.
You think so?
Yep,
I don't think so. Would
Iz
you?
is a hip hop head,
No,
but is Jay Z hip
I
hop?
think Jay Z was before his time.
Yeah, yeah.
But Jay Z
Yeah.
is definitely to me he's hip hop. I think so.
Jay Z is. I wouldn't call him hip hop. I'd say he's a rapper.
Mm,
I'm always going like if they still in today's game, they're not hip hoppers. If they still making relevant music today, they're not hip hoppers, right? Hip
mm,
hop does not make relevant music today.
mm.
No one cares
Stop
what's
saying that.
happening. Listen, y'all, I have to tell y'all this, right? The masses do not care about what's going on that side anymore because, well, let's just be real. We get it on Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. We get what's happening on the streets. We know the cops are running down, killing everybody on the streets. We know it's black on black crime. We know
Mm,
sisters are doing whatever they want to do. We know guys are leaving and doing whatever they want to do. We know this. But what is the world? What is the world actually trying to do right now? If anybody thinks that the world is still saying or still looking to, or let me rephrase it. If anyone thinks that the world is not looking to escape
mhm,
from the reality of the world, and that's why music like trap, music like drill, music like that, is at the top and where it is, because these music are to escape. A regular person is not walking out the house shooting down on his ops. A regular person sees his ops and watches his ops to make sure that they're not trying to get him first.
mhm.
So when you hear a record like "I see you and I kill you, I'm gonna bust you, I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna do," you feel real good and amped up. And it's like when those kids used to listen to music, watch those rock and roll movies, and the rockers are you know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
that.
Yeah, that's how it is now in the music. We want to escape. Let's see this. I love Outkast, and nobody in hip hop is touching either MC. Interesting. Jay Z is like a drunk uncle at the cookout. We don't care about his rap career. We just know he got the bag. Now listen, I agree with that comment because Jay Z is like that uncle. You like, dang, uncle, what's up, what's up, what's up? All right, bet. Can I get a dollar? Can I get a dollar? Can I get an extra cup? It's cool, right? Because he don't care what he does. He always talking about his accolades, stuff like that, but no one really cares. Now, that's a perfect analogy of what I think about Jay Z. Outkast, excellent group, Andre 3000, bones of that operation, backbone of that operation. But that's real hip hop though.
Mm.
Those are perfect examples of real hip hop.
Now,
Now, it's
see what he's about to say. That's and that there. What? Go ahead. Keep you saying this is an example of real hip hop, and but
they're done.
I knew you had something smart to
No,
say,
no one is checking for them right now.
which may be true. And you know that actually leads into our next topic. Was dying to know what you feel about
Yes.
this, because apparently people aren't checking for your boy Kevin Samuels like he think they are. Did you hear about that? Future basically stating that he doesn't know the man and that production hired. And so the manosphere is going up in flames because they're like, Future is lying. He knows of Kevin Samuels. He's lying. And
Yeah. I see this
I just want
word.
to know,
Like,
what do you think?
I think Future definitely knows Kevin Samuels is. He may not know who can. He may not know Kevin Samuels personally, but he
Hmm.
definitely knows who he is. But then again, Future is one of those artists who posts one post on Instagram and waits a couple of months, takes that post down, and posts another one. He doesn't even understand how that you can post multiple pictures on Instagram. So maybe he doesn't know too much about Kevin Samuels, right? There's a
I
lot
don't.
of artists that are not in tune with what's going on out here.
Lil Wayne was the perfect example that I was going to use. Is that Lil Wayne's in his, like he says it. He don't know what the hell. He don't know who this person, the new or this or that. He's in his own bubble. So for me, not to say that he does or he does
And
not
Kendrick Lamar.
know who Kevin Samuels is, but I tell you this one thing: if he did know of Kevin Samuels and he chose Kevin Samuels to be the perfect fit for his video, I think there would have been some type of, Kevin Samuels would have posted some type of, he posted everything
Yeah,
else,
Kevin
maybe,
Samuels was hired.
and
I mean,
he
these
didn't
people don't even
have,
write their own videos.
I don't even
They just
remember
show
if
up.
he has like any clips of him being in a room with you. I think he was just in the production room with the models or something. That he had pictures and videos of. Furthermore, when this article came out, he probably would have showed the email of Future personally saying, "Hey, Kevin, dig your stuff. Would like you
Yeah,
to feature in my
they don't.
video."
They
So
don't know that dude. You don't know that dude. That
he
dude
know,
just came in, did his job, and honestly, y'all think everybody in the industry gotta know each other.
yeah, yeah. I
They
mean,
do.
no diss to Kevin Samuels, but this was another thing that speaking of Kevin Samuels and Zesty, um, this
Kevin
was
Samuels the
another
goat.
thing that came out about men being classified as zesty, right? So
Zesty.
zesty, first thing comes to my mind is KS. But anyway, no shade to the manosphere. But
Kevin
any,
Samuels is the goat.
anyway, Devon Franklin, Megan Good's ex-husband, posted a picture of him for his birthday with some of his friends. People, women called them zesty. Did you see that photo?
I did not,
Okay. I'll see if I can pull it up. But
but I know one
women
thing for sure.
called them zesty. And the question was, why is it that when women, specifically black women, see successful black men in suits, they automatically assume that they are zesty? Do you think that's the case?
Um, honestly, can I tell you what I really think? I think women hate men that are successful. Period in today's world.
You think so?
Yep. Or let me use the word more successful than them.
You think so?
And if they don't benefit off of it, you're the worst person in the world.
I think that's a little
I
different.
mean, let's just be. Can I be frank here? Can I be frank here? Women definitely don't want no men to be doing better than them in today's world. Women want to be
So
doing better than every
because
man in the world.
so have you ever heard anybody call Idris Alba zesty?
Call who?
Idris Alba, the actress, the actor, or
A lot
Denzel
of people. A lot
Washington?
of people. A lot of women I've heard say that
I've never heard it. He
he was
doesn't.
about to be James Bond.
No, I've never heard that. What about Denzel Washington? How
Yes,
about
he's another
Samuel
sex symbol.
Samuel L. Jackson? No, I'm
And
saying
I've never
zesty.
heard
As in,
anybody.
zesty
I've
means
never heard anybody put Sam Jackson on the list. No, I've never heard anybody
zesty
put
to
Sam Jackson.
me means a little on the rainbow side. That's zesty. That's
Oh, you're saying zesty.
don't you knew you knew.
No, listen. Okay, let me tell you real live. I've heard a lot of men that are successful be called zesty from the way they dress, from the
Mhm,
way that they speak, and things like that, right?
mhm,
I was working with a physical trainer, a personal trainer, right,
mhm.
out of California. And I was working with a stylist out of California, right?
Yeah.
The first question they asked you was, where are you from?
Mhm,
Now, I say, I'm from DC.
mhm.
They say, oh, we can't work with you if you're from DC. I said,
Okay.
when I live in Atlanta, they say, okay, we can work with you. If you live in Atlanta, we might can see what happens. Send us some pictures of your styles and things like that, right?
Mhm.
So I had to ask them on the second meeting, why'd y'all ask me about DC? First thing they say is, DC has their own style. They don't listen. They dress how they want to dress
Mhm.
all the time. I say, wow. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. That is how it is in DC. I
Mhm.
mean, if I change my dress or if I put on too bright of colors, it's like, bro, you fruit. Boy, you weird. Why you want them bright colors? Why you with so it's like,
No, I don't think
yeah.
so. I don't.
Nah,
If
nah,
you
you
if I
know that
see a
guys get
guy,
labeled in the city based on how they look, what they dress,
right,
everything.
but you know why? Because it looks feminine. You can have on a Cameron looks damn good in a pink shirt, and he don't look gay at all. He looks fine in a pink shirt. Then you
Come
see
on, you talking
another
about
guy.
2000, you talking about early 2000 Cameron?
It don't. He could put on a pink shirt right now and still make it look not zesty. But
That
you
ain't fair.
you could, no, you could
What
certain
about Prince? What about Prince? What about
Prince was zesty. He knew he wore high heels. He was a
he
ladies'
wore
man, however.
he, he wore chaps as well. He had
But
on
we don't
asses.
know if he dabbled on the other side. We know he was a womanizer. I don't know if he just was, maybe non-binary or I don't want to say the wrong sexual.
Well,
That
it's
just
crazy because that word just that's new. That the word non-binary and stuff like that, that's new. So
he
that's
could have
a new.
been like a whatever you call it. I don't know what they call themselves. Somebody that just has sex with anything and
Like I was thinking Kanye West's latest outfits with the big boots and the skinny jeans was a little zesty, if that's the word we use it. But then it's like,
zesty means when you look at them, you just automatically think that they could dabble on the other side.
man, like honestly, I living in Atlanta now, I see so much. I'm just like, every people that you would never think is zesty that don't dress zesty at all be the most zestiest.
So this is the photo. Can you see it?
I can.
All right. So me personally, I don't see anything zesty about it. Um,
Besides the one guy that's choosing to bend down in front of the guy Sean Marion look like.
See, you caught it before I did.
I mean,
And
he ain't even got to be that close. It's no reason to. I mean, we could even make a full moon. He he could have done that in the center with a jail pose,
look,
but
I
yeah, that man's hands is on his back. Like,
I was coming
okay,
to their defense, but I guess you caught. I didn't even catch that. To me, I was just like, well, maybe they're just judging a little bit hard because to me, zesty is if your clothes is tighter, like if stretch jeans. One thing about me and some guys like fingernail polish. Me personally, if a guy, I don't like fingernail polish,
that
whether
is
it's
starting to piss
clear,
me off, guys. That is
clear or not.
pissing me off. There's no such thing as unisex nail polish. Stop it.
But I think the definition for women for zesty is when a man does feminine things. And or if he, dresses a little bit feminine. People say that, oh, because Kevin Samuels wears a suit, that people it's not just about his suit. It's his laugh. It's how he walks and his, how he pronounces like a lady. And, it's those things, his polished fingernails. Those are the things that make women say that and the fact that we never seen him with a woman. So that's, Forget the
And the
part
fact
that
that
he had
and the
kids.
fact that he dogs women on his platform.
I
That's
see. For me, that part don't really bother me. I feel like he holds some women accountable. I listen to Kevin Samuel sometimes. I don't. It doesn't bother me really at all. It's just what bothers me is the women that goes up there for validation, not what he's saying. Because why are you listening to a man that can't even display an example of what you're looking for?
right.
So I don't. I would never say, "Oh, he dogs." Well, you know, well, I mean, he's harsh. Um, he's harsh. Some of the stuff be true sometimes. I mean, but
Yeah, it's wild. It's a wild. That's a wild man. But I'm
so
gonna tell you like this. I believe that any guy, once you make a certain amount, if you want to get to a certain amount of places, you gotta tone down the man, like like a little bit, right?
no.
And especially black men, you gotta tone it down a lot more than a white man has to tone his man down to
When you
get into
say
certain
his
places.
man, explain to me what you mean.
So
His
like the
man. Are
tough
you?
guy, the whole tough, the whole this can't be around me, the whole I bet not see this. You know, a lot of men be like, oh shit, no dude better not ever touch me, or no guy better not ever look at me like that, and things like that. They become too manly. It's like you too insecure in your own strength. And when you get to a certain level and you have a certain amount of money, you be around all types of men and you don't know who the most powerful man in the room is. And sometimes I've seen it. Sometimes the worst comment or the worst thing you can do is be stuck in your own box of thinking in certain rooms. Because the person that can change your life is usually the person that you do not want to be associated with normally.
Mm,
And reason being
it's true.
that is because if the people that you were around normally could elevate you, you would be elevated.
Elevated. Fact. Let me preach, preacher. Hey.
I, it took me a minute to understand how to move. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? Like I used to look at managers. Like I, I remember there's a friend of mine who was working at a job,
mhm,
didn't know who the owner of the company was.
mhm.
One day, a guy walks in and he's staring him in the face, staring him in the face. My friend goes, "What in the hell is he looking at?" They go, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "No, I'll go out there and punch him in his face if he don't stop looking at me like that right now."
Mhm.
Sir, what are you looking at? Do we have a problem?
Mhm.
Wait, bro, I own the place. Oh,
And you're fired.
you're fired.
Mhm.
So, like, the thing about it is, I always tell people, like, there be a lot of my friends, I'm like, look, yo, we about to go here. Don't come in here with that.
Mhm.
You know, you may see this, but don't worry about it, bro. It's not a big deal. Just look the other way, you know, or anything, right? You give your man that you know is not in the lifestyle the heads up when they just like out. But when you see a lot of stuff that you see, when you really start being around people that got money or ability to put you in position or moves, shit, last thing you better be doing is judging or judgmental or
Yeah.
worried about what a broke person or somebody who don't listen. If you have a dream, the worst thing that you could do is let someone without that said dream
Mhm.
influence your way of how you make it happen.
Fact.
I refuse to let anybody tell me, "Oh, you around them? That's weird. You do that? That's weird. You do that? That's stupid." You know, people like, "Oh, your hair's color red. What does that mean?" Like, what? Oh, like whatever the case may be, I don't really care what you guys talk about anymore, right?
Mhm.
Because I understand two things. It's it's not about me rocking my New Balances all the time to show I'm from DC. It's not about me, using all my modes and all my terms and stuff like that. It's really more so about people being able to see that you can move around the world,
Mhm.
right? that you can be in other places besides the box that you normally
Are in.
put yourself in.
Mm.
And honestly, like a lot of people don't want nothing from y'all. That it's amazing that men are now being called zesty because back in the day, what you used to see was men's strength and dominance got them everything, you
Yeah.
know? And it was like, oh, you're faster, you're stronger, you're a man. We want you first. We're going to pick you first. Women and children in the house, women and children this. But now they're starting to see the change. And you guys got to understand something. Women are not going first because they are better or stronger or shift the time. They're going first because they're making themselves what we call more approachable.
Yep.
They if they say their hair's it right, they're not afraid to go out there and get their hair done right, get the extensions. If they say that their hands look ugly, they're not afraid to go get the pedicures, the manicures, and shit like that. If they tell them that they don't want them here, they're not afraid to say, "I don't fuck with them anyway. I'm good." You know, women are like the new I boss. What the men used to be in the '90s, in the 2000s, when that phone ring, it's like, hey, you got to be to work. Now men are like, oh, I got to see what my girl doing. Women are like, all right, I'm on my way, getting money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the ship
Facts.
has changed. Now y'all understand something. What I'm about to say to y'all is gonna sound really crazy. But why do y'all think all of the men that are gaining power and getting more and more status get thrown in with the Zesty bunch?
They
Because
don't though. They
no,
don't.
the
Steve
reason why they do
ain't
is
thrown
because
a bunch.
no, the ones that dressed away or looked away and stuff like that, like or speak away or talk, you know what I'm saying, and move a certain way, they do because at the end of the day, they're the ones not moving like a man anymore because men took and at some point the really strong men took the power and said, look, this is ours. We're going to be owners. We're going to be bosses. We're going to run shit. And where those employment positions became available, and some of these men left high paying employment positions that other men looked behind them and said, yeah, I want to work with you. I want to be under you. So women started taking these positions. Now y'all gotta understand there was some men that sat back and said, nah, I always wanted to be here. And they said, yeah, but all the hard dudes over there, dude, go with them. If you want to be like that, go with them because we've seen that before. It's sad, right? It's like we've seen it before. We know, oh, I've heard people say to me, oh, I know dudes like you strong minded, you a boss. You don't need to work for nobody. What they telling me when they say that is they automatically know I'm not about to listen to them and they don't want to deal with me because I'm not about to listen to them. When somebody tell you you a boss, you can handle this, you can do this, you don't need nobody help, they don't want to deal with you because they already know what you're about.
Yeah, not
So
easily.
it's like, so when you start humbling yourself, you start running around, oh my God, you're amazing. Oh my God, you're the best. I've never seen nobody do it like that before. Then you start saying, oh, come with me, I'll show you more. You're like, but everyone else looking on the outside like, did you just beg that man? Be like, I sure did.
Yeah,
You know,
you're right about that.
well, what's happening? A lot of people forget about the men that still want record deals. They're like, you want a record deal? You can have your own label. Start your own label. I can't stand when a person tell me that. Start your own label. That is like a slap in my face. And honestly, all artists out here, when someone tell you start your own label, they slapping you in the face.
Why you say that?
Actually, they close punching you with a fist. Because they might as well just tell you you ain't never gonna get a deal. That's what they might as well say. You ain't never gonna get a deal. Start your own label. Put that in front of it. Because the reality of it is, deals are like jobs. If people really thought you could get a deal, they would say, go get it. Go get your deal. It's time for you to have a deal. You should have a deal. Why you ain't got a deal yet? That's what they say when they think that you should be signed or you got something. But when you don't, when they don't think that you got nothing, start your own label, bruh. It's easy. Everybody doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we all like to think that they're talking about the money. No
Mm-hmm.
one is talking about the money. No one believes that there's money to be made as a musician, as an artist. If you tell somebody I want to be an artist, and you tell them that you about to quit your job to be a rapper, they're like, "You tripping to rap? You about to quit your job to do music?"
Mhm. I was telling my mother that today.
Listen, I know she probably had a heart attack.
No, she actually didn't. She was just listening to me. I was like, yeah. I was like, I was like, I'm not gonna quit doing this, of course, to do music. But I was like, shit, I already got like 4 or 5 songs in the vault that need to be finished. I was like, shit, I'm about to everybody bullshit, and I'm about to go ahead and see what this money do. I'm gonna go ahead and see what this do. At
Uh,
least it
and
could
it's
be running
crazy.
itself up. And like I was thinking about to be
You a
summertime.
whole female, it'll take you 6 months.
I was
Niggas
like,
will
it's
be
about to
really
be
mad at you.
summertime. I was
They
like,
would be so mad at you.
I'm
They
gonna
be
be
like,
on
this,
the move.
this is how niggas will talk about you. They be like, where she come from? Where this person come from? When she start making music?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
nobody wants to admit the power shift, right? And that power shift was made by attitudes and moods and people before us. And
hmm
uh, and it seems like they want all of us artists and all of us to fall in line with this new model. No, it's not create your own, people.
hmm
Stop thinking that creating your own is the fix. No. Only time creating your own is the fix is if we're talking about buying a house or building one your own self. But then you still gotta buy the land.
I, I want to just say, creating your own, but you can't do everything by yourself.
I'm gonna tell you like this, right?
You can create your
The
own.
creating of your own as can only be your own style, your own brand, but it has to be affiliated
Hmm
with theirs
Yep.
in order for it to mean anything.
hmm
I mean, it's no. I could go out this yard and be like, I'm Blood Gang or I'm a Crip Gang member, right? And if someone asks me, what are you? I'm the 95 Street Gang. They're like, who is in
What?
that damn gang? It's me. I just started my own. Like, I started my own. That ain't gonna stop the damn gangs from whooping on our ass when they find out what's good. Well, you got no affiliation. They ain't gonna save you. You got nobody that like to back you to tell everybody else, yeah, they serious. They about that. Well, whatever comes your way, you got to be willing to take it and deal with it. And you got to be damn near strong enough because for real, it's this type of shit that can really break you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's that type of stuff that can really break you down. And when people really start thinking about it, like, do you really want to get broke down? Like, a lot of people are afraid to get broke down. That's why you don't have as many people sign up for the military or just as small as JROTC.
hmm
You know how many kids be like, I will never take JROTC. They're not going to tell me what to do.
hmm
Oh, well, it's just high school. Damn, it's just another high school class. Don't
Yeah,
make it like we signed you up for the war.
that's
So
true.
I'm just like, man, we gotta stop. We gotta stop with the misconceptions,
hmm
right? Because honestly, those be the worst things in the world for me. Like having to try to figure out how to move in this world. I was telling one of my friends, I said the worst thing about moving to Atlanta for me was realizing that you can never ever have a down day. You can never be caught bummy. You can never be caught regular, right? It's like one moment can mess up your whole week. 1 week can mess up your whole month. 1 month can mess up your whole year. And it's like, back home, you have not that worry. No one cares. But when you start being out and you start realizing that people know you as a brand,
Right.
you have. It's like I go home. I'm like, ah, thank you, thank you.
Yep.
I'm friends. Yeah,
No, that's true. That's really
you
that
can't.
you definitely right.
You can't be. You can't do that. You know. So I look at life like one big mode.
Mm. let's go ahead and just segue into this. I know you've seen
Uh,
a video of that 8-year-old boy that got arrested for stealing.
volume went out.
Can you hear me now? Well, while he's getting that together, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. I know y'all seen this video um of the 8-year-old boy that got arrested for stealing, right?
Oh, let me leave out and come back in. I can't hear you.
That's okay. I'm about to play the video. So basically, I don't know what is wrong in this situation, whether it's the kid or whether it's the parent or whether it's the police, because everyone was getting upset about how the kid was handled for stealing, committing a crime, but no one asked where the parents were. So I'm gonna play this video. I'm sure y'all have already seen it. It's just a quick clip until we get.
What is y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What is y'all doing?
Guess. Take a guess what I'm doing.
Hey, he like a baby. Me? Why you?
Guess what I'm doing.
I don't know what you doing.
I don't know why I keep going out.
I just see you snatching him up off the.
No.
So what? So what's going on then?
He's stealing stuff. If he breaks into your house to steal something.
Nah, man. What he selling a bag of chips? So y'all treat me like a whole cold-blooded fucking killer?
Keep walking, dude. You don't even know what you're
Keep
talking
walking.
about.
I do. I know what I just came up and see. I know the fuck I just came up and see.
Okay, what'd you see?
I see y'all snatching him up a bike like you're a fucking grown-ass man. Ain't he saying it wasn't him? Fuck is y'all doing?
That's crazy. How old is he? 10 years
Fuck is y'all talking about, man?
That's against the law.
Fuck is y'all
10 years
doing?
old, you cannot put that.
What is y'all doing? Take the fucking chips. If you stole some chips, I'll pay for them. I'll pay for them. You don't even know who he is.
Let me see. Oh my bad. My bad. Did you see the video?
Yes, I did.
You
I
heard
saw
it?
that video. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that video when it happened too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little disturbed, but but I'm not surprised because that's all we talk about on this show is the change in times. This is another prime example of the change in times, y'all.
Mm.
Now,
I
has
don't
anybody
have kids, so I was gonna speak my piece and then let you go ahead and elaborate.
go ahead and speak your piece because I have a really interesting question.
Because I know for me, the first time I saw it, like I was livid, and I was livid because of the comments. Um, I was livid because everyone was acting like the little boy was a victim, and I'm still waiting for Will Smith to be reprimanded. Okay, so I'm a strict person overall. No
Yes,
nonsense. Um, I believe in forgiveness and second chances, but I also believe that discipline somehow corrects later on. It might not correct you immediately, but it plays a big role in correcting your behavior as you move about life. So when I saw the comments and they were like, well, why are they treating him like that? Why is he doing this and why is he doing that? I immediately started thinking about the 10-year-old little kids nowadays. They're
yeah,
shooting people, they're definitely breaking into houses, they're
yeah,
disrespectful, um, they're disobedient, their parents are never around,
yeah.
um, they just don't have no direction. So I can only imagine what happened. Now I'm gonna put my own personal experience in there because when I was about 7 years old, I stole from the store. Um,
Yep.
had no absolutely no reason to steal. My parents always gave me money. I actually had a pocket full of quarters. I bought those icy pop, those long ones, the giant icy pop things. So I got one of those. My cousin got one, and then her friend couldn't afford one, right? So instead of me using my money to buy her the ice cream, well, bitch, I'm not giving you my money. I said, you know what? I just steal you one, right? So
Mm. Put
some
yourself on the front line. Such a tourist.
7th and Kennedy Rainbow Market, Uptown DC. I remember it like it was yesterday. I reach in the freezer, I put the ice cream in my pants, and I start to walk out. The Korean lady, she says, "Oh, you stealing?" Okay. I said, "No, no, 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 no. I'll pay for it." She was like, "Nope, keep your money. Just going to tell your dad when he comes down here." I said, "Please, no, take the money." Like, take the money. So I'm one of those kids that I feel like if I tell my parent before someone else does, the whooping will be less.
Yeah.
Well, I went home. I told my dad and my mother, I said, "Yeah, I just stole some ice cream for this girl. She didn't have no money to get the ice cream or whatever. I stole it from the store. The lady said she was going to tell you." They said, "What did you do?" My mother grabbed a shoe. She popped the shit out of me. My mother had one arm, my dad had the other arm. They whooped my ass all the way back to the store, made me give up all my quarters, and then slapped me back up the hill. And that was my discipline for that. One more story. At 12 years old, I was arrested for stealing.
You
12.
look up though.
Well, my cousin's stepmother taught us how to steal. Her name was Linda. She taught us how to steal. We were about six. I was
Her
6,
name was what?
and
Her
my
name was
cousin was
what?
8. Linda, she probably rest in peace. She's probably long gone now. She was on dope real bad. But she taught us how to steal, so we would go to the store and steal for her. So that's how I learned. So at 12 years old, I get caught stealing in Rite Aid. They take
She
my
taught you
picture.
bad.
They take my picture, hang it on the wall, and they take me to jail. Okay, at 12
They
years.
took you to jail at 12.
Hmm.
Okay.
So it wasn't really jail. It was like a holding cell. They called my family. My uncle came and got me, and he took me home. He was about to whip my ass. And then my other uncle, rest in peace, Uncle Kenny Brown. He just passed away. Thank thank God he was there. He was like, "You didn't mean to do it," you know. So cute. I'm
You're
like,
just a little thief.
"No." I'm like, "No, I didn't mean to do it. I'm so sorry." He's like, "Don't beat her. She won't do it again." And
Ah,
but with
did
that
you do it again?
said,
Did
wait,
you do it again?
I had to go to court. I had to write a letter. My father whooped my ass. Okay. I
Oh,
did eventually steal again.
yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Um, and the,
Because you
the
were taught to steal, though.
the funny thing about it though, what made me stop stealing wasn't that I could now afford everything. Someone stole from me. Like,
Ah,
someone came in my house, and I don't remember if it was like a belt or some perfume or something along those lines, right?
right,
And I couldn't find my belt or my perfume. It was one of the two. I can't remember. Somebody stole, and I'm an only child, right? So no
right.
one is using my stuff. It had to be one of my friends that came over my house. So that feeling ultimately made me say, like, "No, I ain't stealing shit." Like, I hate when people steal from me. Like,
Yeah,
even right now, like, "Ugh, you steal from me." Like, I don't know what I might do, but it's gonna piss me off. So
yeah. I might kick some ass.
I don't feel like what they did was too much. I feel
Right,
like what they did was right. Wasn't like they were beating on him or anything. I feel like the
right.
child was being extra dramatic to just get people's attention because people were around. I feel like
Of course,
that
of
that's
course.
all that's all I feel about the situation because what did the police do? They took him home.
Well, from what I heard, like now, let me go ahead and give y'all some of my stories here, because of course I've been caught stealing before, and I thought to myself, what am I doing here? Why am I stealing? Right? I wasn't taught to steal. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good old tutorial class. But my cousins, we all went to the store and we had a specific list of what to get for my uncle.
Mhm.
I'll never forget it because me being the little nerd that I was, I picked up everything that my uncle said. I paid for it and proceeded to take it back to my uncle. But when I looked at my cousins, they were all enjoying a tasty treat that I know that they didn't pay for. Now, I, being the guy I am, I asked all of them, I said, where did y'all get those Snicker bars at the time? They were all Snicker bars. I said, where did y'all get those Snickers? They said, we got them from the front. We took them. Now, I immediately was thinking that this is like free candy. So I went back and I asked, can I get a Snicker bar too? And they was like, boy, you asked? No, we took them. So now I'm already hot because I'm on the radar. You know, I'm already on the radar because I went and asked for the free Snicker bar that wasn't available. And they told me that's crazy. No. So I walked out and I asked my cousins, why didn't y'all get me one? And they said, boy, you better go back in there and get your own. Now I knew this was a moment of my moment. This is my moment. I walked into the store and I grabbed that Snickers off that front rack and I proceeded to walk out. And yup, I was yoked up. Not even 2 minutes later, didn't even make the door, I was yoked up. And so they was already watching me because I came in there and asked, and then I went back out and came back in. I was too hot for the whole situation. I got the shit slapped out of me by my mama. And she had to come to that loss prevention office and get me. And that was the last time I ever stole in my life.
Mm.
Ever. I was 9, 10 years old. I was a little kid. My ears are still ringing from that. My mama slapped. That was the last time I ever stole in my life. So for me, stealing was always something that was like, wait, we could steal? Like, wait a minute, this is pretty
Be
cool.
surprised.
But never got away with it, so I never did it. I know a lot of people who have been caught stealing though.
Mhm.
Now, my thing is this. I saw that video with that little boy and I said, damn. The first thing I said was, that's crazy if he was stealing and they called the police on that little boy. Because he obviously from that community, they have to know him, right? Then the second thing was, he had to be stealing a long time, right? For you to call the police on a little kid, he got to be wilding.
Mm.
Y'all don't understand like how bad a kid has to be wilding for you to call the police on him. It's easy to tell a little kid you can't come in the store no more and remember his face than it is to have to call the police on a little kid. So then I started to investigate the situation and I had to ask myself two questions. What would have happened if those guys wasn't there recording? Because they beat the hell out of us adults. And I know a friend of mine who was really beat the hell up by the PG County Police Department once he was out of eyes view of everybody else. I mean, he come back the next week, broken arms, jaw busted up, everything. The police beat the hell out of him once they got him
How old
away
was
from
he?
our eyes. We were like 14 years old.
That's different.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know for sure he was wilding. He was, don't touch me, get your hands off me, pig. Going, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But when I looked at that video, I'm like, man, we are in a real shift in time right now, young, where y'all realize that people look for protection and no one is protected anymore. No one is protected anymore. Right. The universe now is shifting to a point where it is showing us that anybody can get it. Y'all don't understand. The it is not just something that's violent or bad to happen to you. The it is anything you want or whatever I guess you go looking for that morning. You can get it. Doesn't matter what your age is. You wake up in the morning acting like a criminal. You choose to be a criminal in the morning at 5, 6, 10 years old. In the afternoon, you can be actually a criminal. And it's really like to the point where as a kid, we used to have to aspire to be things, right? And we have to work up to it, build up to it. But now I realize one thing the pandemic did that kind of these 2 years have changed kids into being grown ups in a way like never before seen. And I'm gonna tell you how.
How when they're supposed to be home with their parents?
Yeah, that's the point. But their parents are also home with them. Some working from home. Some lost their jobs, so now they're just home being everyday lives with their kids. Now, mind you, could you imagine if you was one of those parents that didn't cuss in front of your kids, and now for 2 years straight, you no longer get those 8 hours of free cussing? You're just cussing now willy nilly in front of your kids. Your kids like, ooh,
No, you still wouldn't because
now how now? When you were now the teacher, the parent, the the goddamn
okay.
coach.
So just real quick before we move on from before you go ahead, one thing that I seen with some parents that I don't see with a lot of parents is routine. Um, I know some people that have a routine, a schedule. Okay, boom, the kid's about to be home all day. From this hour to this hour, we're gonna teach. From the next hour, you're gonna go in your room. You're gonna watch TV for an hour. And you give yourself, you're gonna take a nap. You have this. We're gonna do homework time for these 2 hours. We're gonna do this, and this is if you're at home. Not saying that you're at work. Like, let's say you lost your job or you were working from home. Um, those are things that some parents do. Some parents do, and then some parents just go get on the computer, go do your homework. Like,
Yeah,
know, so
most parents do that. That's the
if
most parents way. I'm gonna
if
switch
you
cameras
don't
too.
have a routine, then it's harder for you to not curse or continue a certain behavior that you don't want your kids to see. But it's
No, correct.
ineffective when you aren't really as attentive, because what should have more of your attention than your child? That's the
I
part,
mean,
because I
in
don't have
today,
kids. I don't understand. Sometimes I don't
right, and in
understand. Like,
today's world, precedent is no longer the kids.
mm,
Precedent is survival in this world now.
well,
There's
back
people
to
sitting there.
you stating that, okay, it could have went wrong if no one was recording this, which
Yes.
I don't think that would have happened. I just, because it's a child, I think it was so many police there for witness sake. If the
Well,
child wasn't
the
armed, I think
statement,
it would have
the
been
new statement came out that the police had the wrong kid.
oh.
They had the wrong little boy. It was the other little boy that was stealing, and they grabbed the wrong one. So like it's always interesting how
Mm.
these stories always unfold.
Wow, that really kind of changes things, because either way, I still feel like if the police were called, they did the right thing. They took the kid home. Um, the parent shouldn't be suing at all, because they could have took your child to jail. They brought him home to you. I think that we cry wolf a lot, and
Yep.
the father should be arrested for child neglect.
Well, that should happen as well. But God knows one thing, two things for certain. Hmm. It's gonna be an interesting summer. I'm switching my cameras out real quick for the
They said at least they were PG police. But yeah, so that actually
Yeah.
changes things. As far as it being a wrong kid, who identified the kid? Maybe it was a store owner. That possibly just think all black kids look the same.
Yeah. Well, he was in a group of kids, so it could have. She could have just said the one wearing all black, and three of them had on all black. The other one was jetted, and he could have stayed. Anything could have happened. I do commend the police officers for doing one thing. I do realize that people were acting a little bit over irrational. However, what I would say is that police officer did a great job. He diffused the situation. He was trying to really figure out what actually happened. In any situation where you see a little kid um, walking out in cuffs is very, very tense, or what we say, stressful, should I say. But in the reality of it, I think that officer did the best job that he could in making sure that that situation was diffused the right way. Um, a lot of people don't understand them. I give cops a pass because I used to like be a civilian DOD police officer. And I also did work with police back in my day and things like that. So I give police officers a pass. I got a lot of family members that's police officers. And I get when you don't understand police tactics or how police do things, it's totally understandable for you to feel a way by watching their procedures and how they do things. But the reality of the matter is, I can't come to your job and tell you how to do your job. You know, and we got to understand some with these police officers. Not everybody they deal with is trying to make it, trying to make it home at the end of the day. So their job is already stressful, intense. But I do commend the police officers for taking care of that situation. And it could have been way worse. Like I said, we got to start asking ourselves what really could happen in today's world. What really could have happened if no one was recording, or no one was there to get the story. That little boy would have caught a whole charge.
In the future, I think they could have. Hold on, my mic is echoing. Is it F for you?
No.
Oh. All right. So I feel like they could have just at least called the father from the store. Like they could have just been like, like detained them there at the store and
Yep.
then called the father to the scene of the crime and then charged the father with child neglect.
Yeah.
Let me stop playing. No. But if he threatens to sue the police department, they can then just charge him with child neglect because I feel like, of course, the kid could have been out with family, but if he wasn't out, if it can't be confirmed that he was out with maybe a older child that you trust, then you're ultimately responsible for your kid. The same way my parents were ultimately responsible for me,
Mm-hmm.
you're ultimately responsible for your kid. My parents sent me out with money. I'm hoping that little kid, he could have then just said, "Hey," or pay for it. But if they call the police, then I feel like, maybe I don't know. You saying it's a group of guys that were running out?
Group of kids, just in the
So
neighborhood.
how did he get caught?
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
I'll say situations where the slowest kid always gonna get caught, or what I'm saying, just the kid that's always around. They could have pulled up and more kids coming up, whatever the case may be. You know how that goes. Before we go into this last topic, I need to take a quick break, real quick, if you don't mind. I gotta let somebody in downstairs here.
okay, no problem. I can. When you come back, I'll be on the way. So, all right, guys. I know you guys seen this video. I mean, this picture. How young is too young for your child to be showing love to their partner? I think the more interesting question is, with my dog is barking. Let me show this picture real quick. So, hold on, y'all. I'm just gonna show the picture. And I know y'all have already seen it, but I guess my angle to this is Zaya Wade straight? Is he straight? So this is the picture, of course, of Zaya Wade. So my thing is, okay, with the poor baby, I feel like he's being exploited. But what's even more crazy is that Gilbert Arenas actually spoke on Zaya Wade. He spoke about how he's babysitted Zaya before the transition, and he talked about how Zaya Wade was in general in regards to um if he really liked boys, if he just liked to play with girl stuff and stuff like that. So make sure y'all check out that interview he did with Tommy Sotomayor. But one thing he said that really stood out was when he babysitted Zaya. He said that Zaya preferred to sleep with the boys and then spend time in the daytime with the girls. And this, of course, sounds a little weird, but he was not physically attracted to boys. And this is what Gilbert Arenas allegedly said, is that Zaya was not really attracted to boys, meaning the same sex. However, he thinks he's a girl. So um in my head, I'm like, okay, you think you're a girl, but you don't like boys. So what do you like? From the picture, it looks like a boy. Everyone was saying, I don't know, you saw the picture of Zaya, right?
Zaya, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone thinks
D Wade daughter.
son. So I was
Oh, you gonna get yourself in trouble.
I'm not gonna get myself in trouble because I'm not gonna lie to myself. I am a biological woman. I don't have to lie to make someone else feel better.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so basically, I was just before you came back, I was talking about Gilbert Arenas. Now, Gilbert Arenas and Tommy Sotomayor was talking about Zaya, and I'm gonna talk real fast, y'all, because y'all already heard this, but I'm speeding six up. So the Gilbert Arenas basically was like he babysitted Zaya. Zaya said that he wanted to sleep with boys and hang out with the girls in the daytime, but not in that way. Zaya was never really attracted to boys. He just really didn't was figuring himself out, didn't know which way or what he really wanted to be or what he did. So my whole perspective on this is Zaya is straight. Um, the boy thinks he's a girl, but he does not like boys. Okay. The the girl in the picture, which looks like a boy, is a biological girl. So what we have here is confusion that the parents are allowing to go on.
Wait, that was a little girl?
She's a biological girl.
I thought she looked at kind of Justin Bieberish. I thought it was kind of like
She just I can't I didn't have a chance to find the
that.
pictures
Okay,
of
so
her.
with that
But
happening, it makes me accept the situation better than what I thought it was. Yeah.
I mean, it's confusion though. Like you can't tell me that I'm starting to feel like Zaya is being forced to say that he's a girl. Like that's how I'm starting to feel
Oh
now
my God,
because
I've been said that. I don't.
if
This is a Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade publicity stunt.
yeah, I feel like at this point, like he's being forced,
Yeah.
and he might not really like he don't because if he thought he was a girl, he would be with a boy, not a delusional boy, but a real boy. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh boy,
So it's just
he be
it's
with Pinocchio. He
it's
be with Pinocchio.
sickening. You know why it's sickening? Because now y'all need to let R. Kelly out.
No, 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 no. We're not doing that. We're not coming on here. We can't do.
Y'all need to let R. Kelly out because or the sexual predators that prey on children under 14. And when I say it like that, it's because if you can decide at the age of 10 or in between the ages of 5 and 12 or 5 and 16 that you want to change your sex, you want to take hormones, you want reassignment, you can say that you want these things. You can also consent to sex.
Now, see,
If the children are mindful enough, if the government, more so the Dems, if the Dems feel like children can decide what they want to be under 16, they can decide what sex they want to be, whether they're bisexual, trisexual, or whatever they are, transsexual, whatever they are, then they can also consent to sex at those same ages. So you cannot say, "Oh, he was 7 years old, he didn't know any better." But at 7 years old, you can change your sex. You know, you don't want to be a boy, you want to be a girl.
yeah,
So
yeah.
why don't you know anything else? Like, this is
But
opening a door for some sick shit.
yeah, but I don't think it's about. I think the kids are free to be kids. Like I'm gonna let the 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, whatever. It's the adults that take advantage of them. That's the problem.
Well,
Nigga said and Max B.
I don't
Max B
no,
where he
it's
belong.
but how can an adult take advantage of them? They can because most of the time when kids are abused, they like it until they understand that it's wrong, right?
Hey,
So how right? And where I'm going with this is the same thing with changing your sex. You think you just you don't if your parents don't tell you that it's you're not supposed to do it this way or you could do it this way. If your parents don't say nothing, you think everything is right until you're told it's wrong. So
Well,
I, you
you are
know,
right.
so,
You
so
are right. I mean, you are right. You don't. You believe everything is right until someone tells you it's wrong. Correct.
so with this, I just feel like I feel really bad for Zaya. Because imagine once he gets older and he Googles his name, or even right now, he could go and just type in his name. The stuff that's going to come up, Charleston White called him the F word.
Yeah.
Okay. Charleston White went in on Gabrielle Union and D Wade. And they said, and a lot of people said, why don't you go ahead and transition that little girl to a boy right now?
Wow.
They said, how come we're not seeing pictures of the older son and the girlfriend all mooched up at Easter dinner or Easter? Why are you guys posting Zaya kissed up with this confusion, but not the older child that's heterosexual? That's not, and they look of age.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
So people are kind of like, they're really going off about it. I pray for healing for Zaya, because I feel like this boy is going to get older and he's either going to embrace what he's being forced to do, or he's going to resent them for confusing him all these
Well,
years. Gilbert Arenas said that the kid is very smart, so he kind of gets the understanding of what he's doing. He's probably enjoying all of this attention that he's
of
getting,
course. Of course.
you know. However, his mother can't say anything about anything.
Well, that's what the power of money is. Well, on that note, Jezebel, Tanya, Cash, we got to do one thing and one thing for sure.
Damn, it's 7:02 already.
I know. I
Promote
know.
him out.
Time fly when you're having fun. That's one thing about working at the radio stations. They be giving us these little timers there.
Mhm.
These timers in the back, they give us all these to keep us on schedule like shit.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
All
right.
right.
But y'all know what time it is, man. Like, what you got coming up? What you got coming up?
I got Miss Arabian. Y'all haven't heard her, go ahead and check out her music. She's a dope DMV artist. I really like her. I really like her music. I mean, y'all would say it sounds like everyone else, but I feel like her voice is authentic. And
I
so
don't care about Sonics. I want to hear them with them verses, with them bars on.
anyway, she's hot. Make sure y'all go check her out.
I'm
That
gonna
is
check her out. We're gonna definitely check her out.
Arabian. And then of course make sure y'all check out the Live 365. If y'all haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom.
At
Make
the
sure
bottom.
y'all stay tuned. We might have Pastor IU on here next week. I told you he got into with the popos. So and
I'm
then he
looking
got
forward to it.
robbed and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got coming up. Six, how about you?
Well, y'all already know I'm here. Hip Hop 95. We about to get this night show started. So
Oh,
y'all definitely know what's up with that. But I'm just working, y'all. We got the new Project Pianos out, so that's going
yes.
on right now.
I
Thanks
like
for
that
everybody
song.
that's giving me a lot of feedback and a lot of responses on that. Thank y'all. And yeah, man, I will be in DMV in a couple of weeks for Face Lovers listening session. So
All right,
another
tell
time.
them where to get the link for the Hip Hop 95. If y'all already ain't listening, make sure when y'all leave here, go ahead and
Yep.
tune in with your
Turn
boy
on your hip hop.
SIXCE.
Turn it on. I got a special guest in the studio today, so y'all know what that's about to be about. But Hip Hop 95, that has their own app, or you can go on iHeartRadio, which is posted up in the back. Y'all see all those things right there, Google Store. And coincidentally, y'all can also go and get these on Boss Biz Radio on Spotify. So catch those up. We got a lot of the past episodes on there. I just shared our episode with J Money Gibbs. I may share another episode coming up this week. So y'all know what to do. Keep it locked on that. Now, if you don't know, Just Bear, you got anything else to say? Well, I guess y'all know already to flick those roaches off and putting those ashes away in an ashtray and getting ready to roll another one. Because I know I am. And we out. Peace.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next